Hey, what's going on? This is Roberto, and in this video, we're finally going to get into how to add food to track your daily calories and macronutrients inside of the MyFitnessPal app. Okay, so I'm over here in the main menu, and I said earlier, if you're on the home page, that there was a blue button on the bottom right that you can click to add food. You can get there that way. And you can add breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all that good stuff. Let's just, for the sake of this, click into it. Now, since I'm logged in, it already has my frequent foods, or my recent foods. It has frequent foods. I don't even know if I have my foods. I don't, or meals, or recipes. I'll check that out. Crazy. Anyways, that's one way of getting to this, to add food. Another way of doing it, so I want you to remember, look at the home page, has calories remaining, 2,090. Again, that was for the sake of this this example. I still haven't changed it, but I'm just trying to show you kind of how to use this. But if you want to get to the food, it's called your diary. If you click into the diary, you'll actually see something that's highly beneficial. What it has is not only your daily calorie, but it has every single one of those things I was talking about all located under one. So it has your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, exercise, and water log all under here. And you'll see in a second, it's got this little button called nutrition. And the nutrition is a really cool way that we're going to be able to visually map out our macronutrients. It's awesome. So let's add something. So let's say for breakfast, right? I'm going to do an example here. Let's do a frequent breakfast that I do. So I'm going to scroll down. One thing to mention, and I might as well mention this first. If you don't have recent foods, this is going to be empty. One of the best things about the MyFitnessPal app is that it allows you to scan barcodes of foods so that you don't have to go fishing around trying to figure out how many calories were in this, how many macronutrients breakdown were in this, fats, carbs, protein, sugar. It does it for you with the scan. It is one of the coolest unique selling propositions, I think, to this app, because there are many other apps that just don't have this. So I'm using an emulator. So when I click this, it's going to point my computer screen camera toward me, so you get to see me first. In this video series, which is awesome. And I have, I just pulled out next to me some MCT oils, capsules, and I'm going to scan that barcode and watch what happens. So again, I'm in the breakfast tab. You could do a search for food here if you wanted to, which is neat as well. But if you have the barcode, I'd say use the barcode. So check out what happens. Ooh, what up? So here's the MCT oil, and that barcode, it's going like red and green. You want to get that barcode right across. Hold on. And boom, check that out. It has MCT soft gels. It has it already set up in its system. How cool is that? And it gives you the breakdown of carbs, fat, protein. In this case, MCT oil is only fat, so that makes sense that it is fat dependent. Now, here's a cool thing as well. You can change the amount of servings depending on your intake. So there's been times when I'm using things like salsa or sour cream, and the minimum serving size it gives me is not even what I'm having. So it might be 3 tablespoons of salsa when I only used 1. So what I'll do is, for number of servings, instead of 1, you can actually put a third, and it'll actually take away. So now it's as if I only took 1 of these pills, 1 of the soft gels. So it's highly specific, highly targeted, and it does the work for you of counting the macronutrients for you. And then when you're ready to add it, you just click the add button, the check mark. So now all of a sudden for breakfast, I have MCT oils. Now, let's say you, for my sake, I have already scanned plenty of foods that I use throughout the day. A lot of them they're all here, right? These are all the foods that I pretty much use, okay? And they're saved. That's the great thing about it. It's saved. So if you have things that you typically eat every day, it's awesome to have them saved. So let me do a breakfast that I typically do. So I use eggs. So I'm going to see how it says ShopRite egg, 1 egg, fresh grade, large white egg. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click number of servings and hit 3, because I typically have 3 eggs, and I'll save that. And now check it out. 15 grams of fat, 18 grams of protein, 210 total calories. And what I normally do, right underneath, it says add frequently paired foods. I typically have a tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil. I typically have, let's do 1.5 tablespoons of salsa, because these have already been pre-installed, or not pre-installed, but they've already been aggregated into this app, and I'm just recalling it. So what an awesome app for this. So let's say I had, let's say I had for this one, cubed mild cheddar, 3 cubes, 110 calories. Oh, you know what? No, mozzarella cheese. That's what I normally use. And some sour cream. Let me make sure that's what I have. So 3 eggs, yada, 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 yada. Awesome. I'm going to click add. And so now my breakfast, it's giving me a warning. This is high in saturated fat. Don't worry about that, guys. On a ketogenic diet, we're not going to have to worry about this. But it's nice. It's nice that they actually care to give you stuff like this, right? That shows some type of caring. So all of a sudden I have my breakfast laid out. All right. And check it out. Here's my daily calorie goals. And it says to the breakfast that I've added, 463 calories have been taken away from that goal, leaving me with 1627 remaining. Now that hasn't taken into account exercise. So let's say I wanted to add exercise now to my plan. But before I do that, here's the really cool part. I'll make that another video. Let's scroll all the way down and click on the nutrition. Boom. This is the centerpiece of it all, I think. Because what it does for us when we're on a specific percentage of macronutrient breakdowns is it breaks down in a beautiful pie the percentages of your macros. So it looks like in my day today, theoretically, I would have eaten 75% of my calories coming from fat, 22% of my calories coming from protein, and just 3% coming from carbs. Awesome. I'm on target. So another reason why this app is so helpful. It's just it's like something pushing you in the direction of you achieving your goal, because somebody who doesn't have it displayed like this for them to see could have eaten the same exact meal, and because they don't have it in this format, they might not know exactly the breakdown of those macronutrients. And that could lead to all sorts of trouble. That could lead to them thinking they underate, they overate, they don't know what they're doing. And isn't that alone causing them stress? And guess what? Stress in and of itself will stop fat burning. It's going against your goal for fat burning. It's going against your goal for health in this scenario. So it's just another reason to use this app. It's so helpful. It's so helpful. Let me tell you a little bit of something about learning. Whenever you're trying to learn something new, you have to build a framework to understand how it's done. And so when you first get into this app, there's a hurdle. There's a learning hurdle. But guess what? That learning hurdle that you think, that hurdle is coming from you expecting that you should have known how to use this app faster than possible, right? Like if your actual experience is that it takes you a little bit more time than you thought in your imagination it would, then that's the reality. The reality is it just takes some time. Not all that, it doesn't take all that time. The great thing about this app is that they've done the hard work for you, right? But once you learn how to use this app, here's how I would do it, folks. Create a space in your mind where you're going to use this app not as a point of reference for negative feedback. So you're using this app strictly as a feedback loop of learning the app first and foremost. I want that to be how you use this app in the very beginning. Make it fun. Like, go around and scan foods in your house and see how it works. Don't start by adding goals on top of the app. Right? This is going to add additional stress and anxiety to you that's unnecessary. We're ultimately here to win, and you will win. If I told you that you needed this app yesterday to win, that's just absurd. And if I told you needed to learn it overnight to win, that's absurd as well. It's going to take you as long as it's going to take you. If you want to learn it faster, you just put more resources as a priority to learn faster, meaning spend more time within the app, spend more time messing around with the online features, and get to understand this. Watch my videos over and over again, even though there's probably people better out there to explain how I explained it. But I want this to be, for you guys in KetoVIP, another reason in the direction of you achieving your goals. It's so easy for us to do this, guys. It's so simple. And the only reason you wouldn't want to do it, think about it. Think about when you tell me why you're not going to be doing this, I want you to look at the reason for that reason and tell me if it's valid, if it's foundational, if it's actually something that you shouldn't be doing. In other words, if you're not using this app because you don't want to, look at the reason for not wanting to. Is it valid? Is it standing on anything foundational, or is it just there because your brain doesn't want you to add anything else to what you're already doing? Or is your brain afraid, making you feel like, oh man, this is something else that you have to learn, and you don't do this because it's going to mean I'm going to have to work? Stop it. Get in on this, okay? Get in on this. Use it for fun. Create that space in your mind to get to know and understand. Poke around in this app yourself. You'll learn things about it more than if I made 100 videos. The doing of something is where something gets learned. This video series on how to use this app is strictly for exposition. But until you get in and do it yourself, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're not going to get the maximum results in terms of understanding where your calories are coming from, how to manipulate them, and how to do everything optimally. And isn't that what you want? Sure as heck is what I want. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't use this when I don't need to use this, right? Let's put that in perspective. One of the things I'm going to get outside of this series is to the place where we're going to be able to have a new identification with goals in our mind, and we're going to be able to have goals when we want to have goals and drop them when we don't want to have them. Okay? If I'm in a 30-day challenge group and the goal for the 30 days is to lose 10 pounds, if that is truly set in my mind, I would want everything around me pointing towards me getting into that result. But after that, if I don't need to, if there's no pressing need, or if I don't really care for it, there is no need for me to put stress on myself and feel shameful if I'm not counting my calories on a daily basis. You understand, right? Like, I haven't been using the app for a week, practically speaking, because I haven't found a need to. Like, there's no need in my life for me to use this app right now. When I find a pressing matter, or when I find a useful utility for this app, then it becomes something that I do come back into. Think of like this goal is like don't think of it as fixed in your mind forever. It's there when it needs to be, and it's not when it doesn't need to be. And it's here strictly to help you. All right, so done with my little rant. This thing is going to be awesome for you. The macros nutrition. Go to calories. It'll break down your calories. Now, I've only put breakfast, but when you put lunch, dinner, and snacks in between, it'll give you the breakdowns of where your calories came from throughout the day, the percentages of your daily calories. So clearly 100% of my calories are coming from breakfast because that's all I've eaten. Go to nutrients. Very, very cool. It'll tell you your goals, what you've had, and what's left. And then it has everything. The really cool thing is to look at this, check out the sugars. Oops, let's go back. because you might have a lot of carbs in your diet. Like I have a lot of carbs in my diet because I eat greens all day, shakes. Well, not all day, right? But I have like 3 shakes a day, practically speaking. And they have kale in it, about a cup of kale for each shake, and about a cup of spinach for each shake, maybe a half a cup or 3/4 of a cup. So it is a lot of carbohydrate, but then the sugars are very low. So this app, remember, don't let the app make you feel good or bad. This app tells me you've gone way over your carbohydrate for the day, way over it when I have my carbs, my kale shakes. But I look at the fiber and it's tremendous. I look at the sugars and they're way, way low. I'm not spiking my blood sugars when I have my kale shake, so that is something to take into account. And then of course we got the macros. So let's go back really quickly because I'm going to round this out. This is going to be the last video I think I do. Yeah, I think it's going to be the last video. So let's say I wanted to add exercise because today I worked out, right? And I did some cardiovascular work. Boom. It already has my stationary bike, very vigorous effort, preloaded. But let's say I do something else. You can just type it in. Like maybe if I write a workout in, let's see what happens. No results for that. Maybe they got like commercial uses on it. So anyway, I actually wrote down stationary bike to come up with this. So I'm going to keep that. But let's say you go walking. Let's say walking. Ooh, boom. It's got walking at very specific, like how many things of walking it has, right? So maybe if I click enter, it'll have it for insanity. No. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, let's say today, because I did do 20 minutes of biking. I'm going to click the biking. Minutes performed, 20. Calories burned, 309. Now, I got the 309 by giving, again, a conservative estimate from online research. I really, really, really go hard because if I'm working out for 20 minutes, I know how fat burning happens in the body. And it only happens after you exhaust glucose. And how you exhaust glucose is through really, really intense training. So if you're going to be doing any type of intense training and you expect to burn fat, you got to be pushing your body to like 80, 90% capacity sometimes. 80 to 90% capacity for extended periods of time so that you tap out the glucose as energy. And now your body's like, I have nothing left. Let's burn some fat. And that's what happens. And so I estimated 309. And then I don't really care about the time. I really don't care about the time. And then I click check. And here's the cool part about that. It actually gives you more calories. I think it does. Yeah. It gives you more calories because that you exercised off 309 calories, right? So this up here is like the golden frame of your day. Adding water is always really cool. I'll tell you what, when I added water, I was drinking a lot more because I had something to add. That was just me. When I stopped adding water and when I stopped tracking my calories, I found that I wasn't drinking as much water as I needed to or was expected to. Also, as I've not been tracking my calories, I know for certain, without a doubt, that I've been having more and more sugars in my diet. I didn't think that would be the case because I'm one who is I use a lot of my own will, I guess you want to call it, but it really has nothing to do with that. However, I know that using this diary and this tracking has helped me maintain that low level of sugar. And when I don't use it, my sugars increase. So today is Wednesday, and we start the 30-day fitness challenge at KetoVIP on Monday, May 1st. If you're interested in joining, or if you have joined in the past and you want to share the link for other people to join, go ahead and visit challenge.ketovip.com. And that's where you can sign up and become a part of a group of individuals who are all in this for that particular reason, to get fit and get healthy. However, I know that throughout the last couple of weeks when I haven't been using this application, that perhaps I'm not in ketosis anymore. Perhaps I've never been because I never tested my blood sugar. And so what I plan on doing for this upcoming challenge is testing my blood sugar levels and my ketone levels. I purchased recently a blood glucose monitoring system, and that's just part of the added additional value I want to give to the group and to myself. And by using this app, it's going to help. It's going to help me control the blood sugars going into me because I have a visual representation of what is happening here. Okay, folks, so challenge.ketovip.com to sign up for the next challenge group. If you're hearing this and it's past, you can always go to that link. I don't want to say always. I guess for the time being, you can go to that link, and if it's live, you can sign up for the challenge group and visit us on Facebook. Just search KetoVIP. We should be the only group. And go ahead and share us, like us, join us. We'd be happy to have you. All right, folks, that's enough with the MyFitnessPal app. Get out there and go start using this app, especially before the 30-day challenge, because you're going to want to be familiar with the app before we get into it. Okay? All right, and I'm telling you, those who are using this app versus those who are not, I guarantee you, those who are using this app versus those who are not, and are using the app and not neglecting what they're seeing in terms of if they're just using the app just to use it and they're not actually trying to implement it in the way that I'm talking about, those people who are actually using this app the way it's meant to be used will see the results versus those who don't. I'm not saying that if you don't use it, you won't see results. However, I am saying without a doubt, it's been my personal experience and the experience of many others that when you use something like this, it's going to help you achieve the result you're going for, because what is it doing? It's putting you in more proximity towards the result that you're looking for. The person who is super, super healthy is doing things that are different than the person who's not healthy. That's not denigrating anyone. That's not to say anyone's better or worse. It just is the way the world works. The person who is healthy is not there by accident. The person who is unhealthy is not there by accident. It's within your hands to change. And I hope through this series you're going to find some value in this application. Use it and show us your feedback inside the group. Okay? Wow, I really got to get going, man. This battery's about to die. All right, talk soon, everyone. Catch you later.